The liberation of mutant kind has begun.
Welcome to the future.
Who's this clown?
Not clown, Joker.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Nobody tampers with the equipment except Tony Stark.
Good idea.
United, the Avengers are strong.
Hawkeye, hands off.
Fool! Have you forgotten my invincible magnetic power?
Not this time, Magneto.
My mutant brain senses danger.
Something unseen is slowly spreading its poison, edging tempers.
Think carefully before you do this.
You filthy criminals.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I will not.
Okay, we are live now for issue 89 of Two Fat Guys Pull Us. And you don't want to know what we were laughing about. Or maybe you do, but that's like Two Fat Guys Pull Us after hours, like YouTube Red. I don't know.
Patreon.
That's not, the Patreon, there you go, whenever we set that up. Actually, we already have set it up, but we've never announced it. Anyway, welcome to issue 89 of Two Fat Guys Pull Us. What a week. But before we get into any of that, in comics, Average Joe, you're totally right. I agree with your assessment, and we'll get to that very soon. But you know the drill. We have to talk about some business. Some business. So, you know.
Hey, listen.
Listen, okay? So first up, we have to talk about our show sponsor, which is Collected Comics and Games. They have a website, a lovely website called brainycomics.com. You can head over to brainycomics.com and you can go buy comics. You can buy exclusive and variant covers, bundles, bad idea books, new comics, mystery bags, back issues, graphic novels, games, toys, collectibles, and trading cards. It's not on there, but you can get those there. So go over to brainycomics.com, buy some comics, buy whatever you want, but also look up the Two Fat Guys Pull List upgrade. You're probably asking, what's that upgrade? Well, the upgrade costs you $8, and if you get the upgrade, you get a mystery exclusive cover in your cart when you check out, and it will come to you in the mail.
Oh, wow,
yeah, that was a lot.
I was like, where are we going with this here?
But we also have a premium upgrade, which is 15, which gets you. My dude, I can't talk. My guy, you might need to take over.
If you want to do the thing, do this and then buy it, and it'll be great. Let's talk.
That's why he doesn't do the opener and I do. The premium gets you 2 mystery exclusive covers, and you may want to look at those. Ron has put up an awesome Poison Ivy issue #1 exclusive.
Is it the Dan Mora one?
I don't think it's Dan Mora. I cannot pronounce the name, and I do not want to butcher it, but it looks amazing. And then we got a new Hulk one. By the same artist. There's some spicy, crispy exclusives up on brainycomics.com. So head over to brainycomics.com, buy some comics, then put that Two Fat Guys Pull List mystery upgrade and or premium upgrade in your cart, and Ron will take care of you. I promise. It's amazing. It's a great deal. So head on over there, show them some love. We love to see it. Let's go. So after that, we also need to talk about our sub giveaway. We are giving away a slab every 150 subscribers. We most recently gave one away at 650. And Eric, we haven't forgotten you. We will get it to the shop because you're here local in the DFW area.
I did forget you.
I forgot. I'm sorry. But I will make sure that tomorrow, I don't even need to go to the shop tomorrow. I'm going to go to the shop tomorrow to drop that off to make sure that you do get your slab that you won at 650 subscribers. But we're hitting 750, and I'm not saying we give this slab out to anybody. If you live in Canada, we'll ship it up there. If you live in Mexico, we'll ship it down there. If you live anywhere in the United States, we'll ship it to you. If you live in Europe, anyway, this is the 9.4 CGC Silver Surfer Black issue number 1, second printing, Null on the cover. We are giving away this bad boy at 750 subscribers. So let's get to it. We're at 666, the mark of the beast. Let's move forward. Let's get past it. We hit that goal. Let's go ahead and move, and let's get to 750 subscribers, guys. We are so close. We're not so close, but we're getting there, guys. So let's hit 750 so we can give that away, and then we can announce the next slab that we're going to give away at 850 subscribers. Also, the other thing is we have this bad boy right here that we are giving away at 1,000 subscribers. 9.8 CBCS graded, Amazing Spider-Man number 4, first appearance of Silk. We're giving it away.
You're losing me. That's too much. That's too much. You're losing me.
We're giving it away at 1,000 subscribers. Patty, you know what? I think we tried to do it and it didn't work. We do need to send you that because you're up in Canada. You have it, don't you, Nate? The label didn't work, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got to figure that out, Patty. The fact that you still support us, it's right there.
After all of this, it's literally right here in a box.
Okay, we need to figure that out. We got to get it to Patty. Patty, we apologize. We need to get that to you. We sent it. We tried to send it in, and they rejected it. Whatever.
Attention, male customer.
You suck.
You did something wrong.
We did something wrong. We're dumb. We don't know how to use mail. So we will figure that out. You know what, Patty? Can you send us your address again to our email? twofatguyspullos@gmail.com. Well, let's run it again. We apologize. We need to get that to you. That thing has been sitting there for over a year. Yeah, but we will take care of it, Patty. We apologize. But that is the business for the show. Let's get into the actual show. And I think Average Joe said it best. I would give this week a solid A+. I would agree.
I'm really happy with this week. Had a lot of fun.
And I didn't really expect it. You know, I think when we did our new comic books day video, we were like, man, 5 X books. I feel like there's just a lot of opportunity to fail. And I know that's very pessimistic, but I thought it was good. And then the DC books I read,
I don't think any of them failed either.
No, and I didn't have any independents this week, but you did, and I feel like you said that there were some pretty good ones.
Yeah, one of them was, yes, very close to a pick of the week.
Pick of the week. All right, well, let's get into it. We jump in every week with our first with our X-Men books, and we're going to kick off the show with Immortal X-Men issue number 2 with the Mark Brooks beautiful cover here. Shit's getting serious. You know, like it's just getting serious, and I feel like Kieran Gillen is he's not leaving anything on the table. He's just going for it. He's hitting dingers, and he doesn't care if it's an inside the park home run or if it's going over the goddamn fence. Unless you're at Yankee Stadium and it's just like a wall, right? Because isn't at Yankee Stadium right now. It's like it's the easiest place to hit a home run. What's up with that? Because they made the field too short.
The right field porch is 324 feet.
We are not a sports podcast, so we're going to move on. I don't know why I went down that.
I could go on for hours about why I hate the variety and the differences in ballparks sizes and how it should be absolutely outlawed.
Shouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Doesn't it make sense for it to be uniform? It makes no sense. Anyway, Immortal X-Men number 2. We've got some massive movement in this book, and it did not disappoint. It did not have the issue 2 slump. And Average Joe, size matters. Yeah, size matters. What do you think?
I really enjoyed it. I think one thing that I really like that Al Ewing does a lot, that it looks like Kieran Gillen. I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of writers do this, but bringing back characters that you have a lot of experience on, even though I personally haven't read Kieran Gillen's like Generation Hope and his Uncanny run, he is very familiar with Hope Summers as a character, and she was just a badass in this issue. Like, really cool. I'm glad that she is going to be part of the mix again. Or not again, but like more, you know, I mean, she's always been around with the 5.
More prominent.
Like actually more prominent, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know which this issue made me be like, man, there's a lot I know about X-Men, but there's so much I don't know. Like this whole stuff with Hope and Exodus, I don't know who Exodus is at all. I have no concept of who he is outside of Oxpox, and like this was like really showing me how much I didn't know. There's a lot in this issue. There's some silly goose time with Sinister hulking himself out and beating the shit out of the monster. We get our first appearance of Nightcrawler with his goatee in this issue. By far, the best part of this issue was the introduction to the Summers Protocol, where we see that there's probably some huge binder somewhere that Cyclops has made up about what to do if some emergency happens. This one is for delaying a kaiju, but like literally it's like all the different types of things you need to do in a certain type of crisis. And literally one of them was if the kaiju is actually a robot, see Sentinels Protocol. Also, see page 3 chapter 1 entitled "You're unsuitable for command at this time. Please pass command to someone who can actually recognize a Sentinel."
That's awesome.
So, lots of good humor in this book.
A lot of good humor and a lot of like oh shit moments. And I thought how we kind of discussed this prior to the show. I think it was on Thursday or I can't remember about how they dealt with Selene and just how not necessarily messed up, but just to the point they got with her, right? So they can't. The mutants are having a hard time dealing with magic. She brought that up, saying, you know, it'd be a good reason for me to be on the council because I would be a heavy magic user for the council. And they're like, nah, we're good. And so, you know, she saw that as a weakness, which it kind of was, but Hope had some experience, right? She knew how to kind of get through that predicament, right?
Yeah.
And she fucking assassinates Selene in England, and then they resurrect her only to get the information to how to destroy or how to subdue the Ameth Gate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they break her neck and she goes back and she's dead again. Like it was literally she was alive for what not a millisecond, maybe like 5 seconds, and then before she really regained consciousness, they snapped her neck. And I was just
she's dead again.
And I personally thought that was a pretty like intense punishment, but then you brought up like, well, for her it's just like a snap of the fingers, right? Like she won't remember. No time will have passed for her,
right? But you also gotta understand too, like of our basic like X commandments, she broke 2 of the 3 like right off the bat. And so Comic Book Herald brought this up, but if you hadn't read the Ta-Nehisi Coates Captain America run, you might not have seen what was going on with her there. But she's responsible or directly killed hundreds and hundreds of humans directly before this, like right as Krakoa was being established. So like, yes, she wasn't technically on the island, but like she was still. It's because she was off the island killing hundreds of humans. Mm-hmm. So like, Selene is one of those characters that I think just can't be a good character. It just doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. So I think this was in a very appropriate way to write her out of the way, essentially.
Right. The other thing I really enjoyed about this issue is Kieran Gillen again is proving that he is worthy of the mantle of, I guess, movement within the office and just like progressing a storyline. I'm not going to say he's worthy of the mantle of Hickman. No one, I think, is really worthy of that. But Kieran Gillen isn't just in his own.
I don't even know that Hickman was worthy of that. He never.
Right. But I think Gillen's in just a whole other room, or just he's in a completely different category, and he's killing it. And I just love the fact that me and you were first like introduced to Kieran Gillen with his Immortal run. Like that's where we're not Immortal, Eternals run. We were just, that's where we picked up on it. We were like, what is this? And then someone was like, it's my art project. And we were like, Picasso, I like it. Like, that's what we were doing. That's what we're doing now. We're like, we're jamming.
It was Assad Ribic is why I picked it up originally.
Right. But he's just killing it. And I hope, Last, if you're here or if you're going to watch this as a pass, let us know. Like, what are you thinking about this Immortal run? I know that, you're one of our more diehard Hickman X-Men fans, and I totally understand it. I'm still kind of in that camp. But Karen seems to be ever so slowly just kind of inching me towards the center again, and not being as upset about what had happened last year. But overall, I think this book is bright. I will say this. and it's good. It's a good fear. But Judgment Day has me so worried because, like,
worried?
It's got me. No, it's got me worried. Let me tell you why I'm saying this. I'm not saying worried like, oh my god, it's gonna be bad. I'm worried that we're setting up this awesome, badass book, and then Karen Gillan's gonna be like, Krakoa, get out of here. You know what I mean? Like, and it's over. You know what I mean? And it's because Marvel was going like, hey, we're introducing them into the movies, and I'm like, don't do it. Please don't do that. Don't, like, keep going. So that's my only fear for Judgment Day. But Immortal was a banger, man. Like, this was a good issue, and I can't wait for it. I love it. I love the fact that we have an X book that has a lot of weight, and I just can't wait for next month so I can get the next issue. Like, that's awesome.
Place to be in.
Right.
Right.
Let's get to. You want to get to chat? Yeah, go for it.
I was gonna say, Patty said, "Damn, I thought that stuff was regulated." It is kind of like he's talking about baseball fields, but most of their sizes can be different within parameters. It really sucks. Stefan said, "Mr. Sinister has been giving Doctor Doom a run for his money in regards to most entertaining Marvel villain." I would agree with that, especially because the term villain is being used so ambiguously right now, both with Doom and Sinister. Ronnie asked, is Immortal X-Men the flagship run that's going to be ongoing? I want to pick up 1 and 2, but I just don't know which of the 10 X-Men books is the mainline X-Men book. Okay, here's my opinion rundown of all the X books really quick. Immortal X-Men is the #1 book, is the most important book. Whether we're talking, like, I think Marvel is really hesitant to say who run head of X Office. You don't need to do that anymore. No. They tried to do that with Hickman and it failed. This is your #1 X book. I would say X-Men by Jerry Duggan, Duggan Duggan is probably #2 as far as importance to the overall X line. I would say X-Men Red is probably #3 as far as quality and importance. I would actually say that Wolverine and X-Force, where they're at right now, are probably most important to the overall storyline, but are lower in quality. I would say in quality, these are in the bottom, but importance of the storyline, I would say they're about 4th and 5th. Then after that, I would say probably New Mutants. It's definitely the best art of the whole run. But right now we're dealing with some Limbo stuff, which of course we'll talk about in a minute, which isn't very important. Marauders is dealing with some Shi'ar space stuff, which isn't super important to the overall theme. But it's good. But it's amazing. Listen, I'm only talking about importance to the main. I know. And then finally Knights of X, which is amazing and has great art. Certainly you could skip that if you're only worried about X as a whole, because it's happening in Otherworld and they're trapped in Otherworld and nothing can really interfere over there. But it's also really, really good. So don't take that as a quality judgment.
What up, Jamie?
Yeah.
Also, Stefan says I would buy the complete Summer Protocol binder if they ever became available at LCS. That sounds dope. Joe says I think the Quiet Council could use a magician, but what Hope did was badass at the end, no doubt. And then Trail, I'm gonna skip over. You said hey, but then you said he got me Karen about X-Men again. Zing, love it. Joe also says, I thought the head of X Office was Deadpool. I mean, it is. Technically, that's canon. The X books will be featured in this Judgment Day event. I'm unsure about picking up Legion's book. So, yes and no.
Legion's book will not be.
Legion will not be, yeah.
Legion will not be. So, not every book is...
We talked about it in solicitations for August, didn't we?
Yes. If you want to see us more in depth, look at solicitations for August. But Legion, I believe Marauders and Knights of X are for sure not tie-ins. It only shows you that they're actually where they're at in their story, if it makes sense. Like, obviously Cyclops is a big part of it, so Jerry Duggan's X-Men being involved. Obviously Kieran Gillen's Immortal because it's going on. I think X-Men Red. Yeah, X-Men Red is involved.
X-Men Red.
Of course, Benjamin Percy's 2 books are going to be involved because Wolverine's got to be involved in literally everything.
Yeah. I think that's it, though. Knights
I think that's it. I think it's 5 of the 10 books. So I think they're doing it right. I think they're saying, hey, if it doesn't make sense, like, of course, Knights of X, Otherworld, why the hell would they be dealing with anything that's going on in our normal 616 Earth if they're stuck in Otherworld.
All right, and I remember in some of the books that was like, this is the chapter that's in Ten of Swords, and it was literally a mention, like it was like, oh, that's going on over there, and they still put it as like chapter 15, and you're like, nothing fucking happened. So yeah, the keeping five of five, I think, is a perfect. A mention does not warrant this is the next chapter, you know, or like even like half the book. Like just don't do that. No. Eric says, I've been out of town all week, so I missed a pretty big week of X books. We'll have to come back and watch this episode. Eric, by the way, I have your slab. I forgot to drop it off. I said that at the beginning of the episode, and I apologize. I will drop it off tomorrow with Ron. He'll put it in your file, and you will have your slab that you won for 650 subscribers. Yeah. You want to move on? You want to go to the next book?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right. Next book.
Did we get everything?
I think we'd. Well, no, maybe it was more like.
I will agree that Immortal is number one. Gillen seems to be the one who's bringing the line together. I agree. Knights of X just happens to be my personal favorite. I can't blame you for that. I love it. Ronnie, you're welcome for the breakdown. And there's nothing wrong. Actually, the Wolverine book, when we get to it, you'll see that we're actually very happy with the past couple weeks. So.
But next up, New Mutants, which is kind of, off doing its own thing. Vita Ayala, they're going down this magic path, and I am for it. A little confused, but I think it's on purpose. Like, wait, what are we doing? And I'm sure we'll get told, as we progress through this arc, what really the intentions of I can't remember. I don't want to say her name wrong. Ileana, Magic. Just say Magic. What she's trying to really do here, and what's really bugging her. But overall, I really dug the issue. The artwork was fantastic, as always, when it's this artist. And I just want to know, like, this issue did a really good job of. There are certain issues that do this where they just kind of throw you into a situation, and depending on how it's written and the visuals are set up, you either walk away going, "Oh my god, like." I get it. We're not supposed to know everything right now, but I want to know that, so I'm going to keep reading it. And then there's other issues like Spider-Man where you're like, wait, what? Am I supposed to feel like I don't know if I'm supposed to be confused? And then you talk to everybody and everyone's like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Nor is it really told or written well to the point where you're like, oh, I get it. We got to keep buying.
So of the X books this week, this one is my pick of the week. Quote unquote for X books.
Okay.
And one of the reasons why is because I think Vita Ayala did a masterful job of giving you enough information as a reader if you're unfamiliar with Ileana's origin, with her saga. Have you read the 4-issue mini?
No, I need to.
Okay. So
do you have it?
I don't think I do. I used to have it in an Epic collection. I sold it.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll figure it out.
It's not unlimited.
Well, I don't have it right now. But...
We'll figure it out. Anyway, it is a amazing miniseries, 4-issue miniseries about Magic getting stuck in limbo and how she goes from little kid to teenager that can harness all this energy. You see her under Velasco's rule, and then Sims torture and stuff like that. You see. Did you understand who that girl was in the blue near the end that she was calling Cat?
Mm-mm.
That is alternate dimension Kitty Pryde.
Okay.
So if you're unfamiliar with exactly what happened to Magic so far, I don't think you got the whole picture, but I think you got enough to like get you along. I think they did a really wonderful job writing this book, giving you like these pages, these like really awesome fantasy pages. And then of course you get the little backup, like Stefan said, the full fairy tale pages. You didn't even read these little backups, did you? You skipped right over them.
Which ones?
The little backups that are different art.
No, I read that.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, I read it.
Okay. Those are like.
I just don't do it in DC books because I'm just like, I'm opposed to it. I'm opposed to it.
That's like supposed to be a little catch you up, kind of help you understand what's going on a little bit more. But yeah, this character right here, that's a little vampiric that she calls Cat. That is Kitty Pryde, alternate universe.
What up, Rich?
Rich and Mason, thanks for joining us, guys.
Mason.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that the idea that after all of these years, I mean, shit, what are we on, 40 years now, that Magic has been strapped down with Limbo and dealing with the trauma of literally losing her entire childhood to being, I think there's a lot of allegories that can be made there, and a lot of people can relate to that. And so the idea that Magic is going to be able to fling off this oppression that has been on her back for so long, I think it's a really cool story, a really cool idea. And Madeline Pryor, someone who has used the power of Limbo for evil, maybe possibly harnessing it for good, or at least keeping it under control as a little bit of a reclamation of herself as a character. Really
right
fun. To
well,
me,
maybe
really
right, like, do you trust that?
Maybe.
Do you trust this Madeline Pryor thing?
I do. I think I right now I'm totally into it. I don't think Madeline.
Hold on, you kind of went like Matrixy. Okay, go. No, your audio did.
Oh, I don't think Madeline will ever be a character that we will call a superhero. She's never going to be on the X-Men team. She'll kind of be almost like what's her name in Marauders right now. Nova. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's a lot of fun. Plus, when you put Rod Rice on the art, like, you're number one. Got it. Yeah. You win.
This book was great. Hard to do that part. Yeah. Again, when I approached this week, I was like, man, we got a lot of X books. Like, obviously you want them all to succeed, but we've seen this before where we have a ton of X books and there's one or two that are just like, oh, that's a pass. Like, they kind of were like filler, and this was on par. It was great.
And again, I think this is a really good example of a book that could be immersed in X-Men history, lore, story. But I mean, honestly, if you didn't want to read this, which would be your mistake, but like, you're not going to be missing out on the X as a whole. And I think loosening that belt a little bit to where like every single last little book doesn't have to be, oh my god, am I reading it in the exact order? It's just panel by panel, the right thing.
Right.
I think that's actually pretty good for the X books.
No, I totally agree. All right, next up we have Wolverine issue number 21 / what? I wasn't sure what order you're going. I had them on a way different order. I don't know. This is how we did New Comic Book Day. Wolverine issue number 21 / really Deadpool issue number 2. I am still digging this involvement of Deadpool. I think we were asking for it during Hickman's run, and not his run, but like during his reign over the X Office. And I like it, and I know Deadpool seems to be, via solicitations, he'll be jumping around books, at least between Benjamin Percy's Wolverine and X-Men, and that's okay. And I think I'll be depressed when he's gone and we're back to Logan like, oh, my memory is good, yeah, drunk. Okay, whatever. But this is fun. I think lightening the mood yet still having ultra violence and connection to things that you may not know, but just giving you an idea of something. I think that's the beauty of this book right now. And where you said the other with New Mutants, when you give the reader the opportunity to learn something new, but not force feeding it, right? Like being inviting in wanting to learn about certain characters, because there are villains and sidekicks in this book that I'm like, wait, I don't know who that is. I want to learn more. Rather than like, you should know who this is, and if you don't, you're dumb. Like, that's sometimes how I feel like when we read these books sometimes. But I overall, again, enjoyed it. I thought the artwork was great. The involvement of Deadpool in this book is fantastic. The dynamic between Deadpool and Logan, I think, is great. And this whole idea of fighting multiple robot versions of Wolverine in a field, I thought was really fucking cool. And we're trying to figure out what this bounty was, and then on Logan, and then also this whole idea of what's in the suitcase, and it's like a Cerebro cyborg, right? Or am I wrong?
Cerebro helmet, right?
Yeah, but it's like a head, like it's gonna like connect. It looked like you could put this whole thing together.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. It does sort of look like a whole mask, because it even has like a nose and a mouthpiece.
Right. So this whole book, since last issue, so since 20, it feels like a new book. And I really hope Benjamin Percy continues to go down this route rather than going back to poor man's woe is me Logan. Like, I really hope we stick down this route.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't think we will.
Who knows? Honestly, if they cancel this book and relaunched it as Wolverine and Deadpool, I think that'd be super cool. But...
No, yeah. Please.
Also, Rich, story-wise, I would understand for sure, but I believe I remember you saying you were an Adam Kubert fan, and he really nailed it this issue too. Like, this panel in particular of them just fucked up. Like, I don't know. I think this is one of the Adam Kubert's one of the things that I enjoy the most about the Wolverine book, is that he's been doing great art and been on the book for almost every single issue.
I think if we're gonna have a Wolverine book, it should feel absolutely completely different than the X-Force books, because he's in that book, right? This should be a buddy cop, or, you know, Wolverine tag teaming with other Marvel heroes. I think that's how the book should be, in my honest opinion, because X-Force is the one that's like the CIA dirty job, behind the shadows kind of thing, and Wolverine, this is like, well, yeah, I'm that, but I'm the lone agent. Like, no, you're part of X-Force, so button it up. But I dug it. I thought this was a really good issue. 99 says, that's exactly why I can't get into all of these X books. Afraid I will miss key elements of a story arc.
Yeah, and I get that, and I think that's one of the things that they heard from feedback whenever Destiny of X kind of changed. I think they said, hey, we need to get some of these stories to where you don't have to be doing that. If you're watching us, you know we're going to tell you everything that you're going to miss from each book anyway, so you won't. Yeah. Just stick with what you like, and it'll be good.
Absolutely. Average Joe says, this book had me laughing the whole time. Normally skip those pages with the all the words and memo stuff, but I read all of them this time. This is my favorite X book this week. I love the title page where we have like all the credits, the writing credits. Like, and again, yeah. It's like
That's
canon.
He
like,
says he's head of X, right?
Yeah, it's so good. I just love it. Rich says, a buddy cop Wolverine book sounds perfect. I totally agree. As long as Kubert is doing the art, I'll keep picking up Wolverine. All right, well, let's hope he stays on it, because a lot of people just keep jumping off their books and then jumping back on later on. So
he's been on since the launch, though. One of the few.
Yeah, X-Force issue 28. We got some jaw-dropping shit in this book. I
love this book. It's great.
This felt like X-Force when we first started reading it. You just got shady shit going on with like the CIA of Krakoa, and yeah, this felt like the most X-Force book since issue number 1. Gory, intense, kind of horrifying. Yeah. Mutants breaking the rules, with Kid Omega making husk versions of other mutants so he can embody them psychically, which I think is freaking cool. I think that's going to play into a major event soon. I like it, and I think this little story arc that we were both kind of like, I don't know, we may be done with X-Force, is getting me back into it.
Getting me right back into it, and honestly, this feels like it's important enough to it's scratching the itch that I wanted it to, of it feeling important, like that it actually matters. So I didn't read issue 27 the last time it came out, so I had to read 27 and 28 just back to back.
Yeah.
And so I guess I kind of forgot that the whole Beast going in front of the council was technically last issue, but like that whole speech with Beast, trying to basically say why they should, get rid of Omega Red forever and completely, literally delete all of his files from existence. And then Sage comes in there and is like, actually, we don't think that at all. And I think that he should be forgiven and brought back with no changes. And I don't know, just the dissonance that we're getting between Beast and the rest of the team. Like, it really feels like Beast is like, I know we've been saying this for 2 years now, but like, dude is losing his shit. And I honestly would not be surprised if in a year dude's in the pit. or something, because
something like that.
I mean, has he still not been fully exposed for what happened in that in Terra Nova?
No, not yet.
So I feel like the council would be pitting him for that right now too. So
Up and Comings is definitely coming. It's around the corner. And then this whole Kid Omega thing that he's doing, where he's asking the Five to create husks so that he can control them like zombies with his psychic abilities, I think is really kick-ass. I don't know. I like it. It just felt kind of gritty. And then Cerebro, we don't know exactly what's going on with Cerebro outside of like maybe it's actually mutating and it's trying to, instead of consume information like it's supposed to, it's actually consuming powers of mutants by ripping their heads off.
Well, yeah, like literally consuming their brains.
Right. Which is pretty damn cool.
Did you notice who got ops in this issue too?
Havoc.
Was that Siren too?
I think so. I can't remember. I was trying to like decipher when I was looking at the bodies, but when they don't have a head, that's kind of hard.
It is. And then when they're in the room, man, I really can't tell who they are, but it looks like one of them is Polaris. One of them looks like Wanda. Like, I highly doubt it is, but like,
no, but she can be resurrected now.
Yeah. But Havoc for sure, and then I think Siren for sure are ones that definitely met their ends.
Well, who's at the end of it? What's the hook? Who's getting it? I forget his name. The guy that can talk to the island.
Black Tom Cassidy.
Black Tom Cassidy is next.
I also love his involvement in this too.
Yeah,
he's such a unique character.
It's not good. Overall, X-Force 28 was fantastic. I think Benjamin Percy, I don't know if it's just like the idea of like a reset, or if he just like sat down and was like, fuck it, I really need to like diversify these stories and get back to the roots of what we had when everyone was like talking. I mean, the CIA style covert opsness of the first 6 issues of X-Force. I mean, I remember coming home, we went and hunted those down because we were late to the party, and I just like couldn't wait to get to the next issue. And this makes this current arc it feels like this. And like, I feel like a lot of people that have kind of ditched X books right now are missing out. You know, they're like, I'm not reading that trash right now. And they're like, oh, you should get back on. It's really, really good. So highly recommend it. So let's see what happens to Krakoa. Let's see what happens to Cerebro. The island might just turn into a giant Cerebro Krakoa mess, but right. I'm here for it. All right, next up, and I believe this is our last X book for the night, and that is X-Men Red issue number 2 from Al Ewing and Calcia. This was very close to being my pick of the week. I mean, really? You know what? It's my Marvel pick of the week. I'll say that. So, Lee, if you're watching, this is my Marvel pick of the week. So we've got 2 Marvel picks, and then we'll have our other picks of the week. This book is we're not. We're only gonna have 4. But this. Oh, actually, we might have 5. Anyway, this was fantastic. I'm really digging this Brotherhood of mutants on Mars. I'm digging the hell out of that. And I told you this after I read this issue. I think Abigail Brand I think she's very close to getting caught and actually getting punished. I think she's playing with too much fire.
Is it in X-Force where we see that little quiet moment between her and Beast? Or is that in this one?
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what book that's in.
Because it was in one of the past books, but I think it's in X-Force. But like, it just seems like they need to go down together almost, like, especially after seeing them working together, or like having like an emotional moment together. It almost was like, damn, you need to get them both at the same time.
I agree, and to be honest, I'm quite annoyed, and I think Ewing is doing a good job of annoying us with Abigail Brand all the way from Empire. Because, you know, it was kind of a red herring, like, oh shit, she's taking out the actual Kree Skrull alliance, and then really she was there to save the day, but she actually started it in the background to make it look like she was saving the day. So yeah, I'm ready for Abigail to go. I'm ready for her to eat some shit, because she's pissing me off, and she is playing with fire with Vulcan, like, it's bad. But again, I thought this issue was brutal. Like, people died. Obviously, they'll come back to life, but the way they died was pretty damn brutal. And I loved Ewing's connectivity through everything else that he's written. You reminded me that the protagonators,
progenitors,
yeah,
whatever.
You know what I'm talking about. I mean, they're from way back in his what's it called, Risen, or what's the Royals. And then they're in Guardians of the Galaxy. It's awesome. But I'm really liking how she's like, I'm going to create an X-Men team. We're going to be X-Men Red. And then the Brotherhood's like, no, you don't get it. Like, there's more to this than just a team. Like, you have to understand your surroundings. You have to understand the culture that you're in. You have to understand how the people actually think and live in order to protect them the way they need to be protected. And so Magneto and Storm and Sunspot, and I'm missing somebody. There's somebody else. They're all cool. And
it's
Storm,
the fisherman guy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the human.
No, he's not a human. He's a Rocky.
Oh, I thought he. Oh, okay. All right. The Storm is just, she's killing it, man. She killed it in Immortal X-Men, and she killed it in this issue. And she just has, Ewing, I think, writes her so well. It's just a good book. I am pleased.
100%.
Oh, and then yeah, Stefan with Manifold is going to crack the case. Totally agree.
Yeah. Also, I didn't pick up on this myself, but Comic Book Herald pointed out how genius Al Ewing is at fixing a retcon and like a little bit of a miss up. So I can't remember the two characters' names, but the two girls that he thought were there. Yeah. Everyone was like, "Well, how are they going to fix that?" Because Hickman said on a podcast that they were supposed to be figments of his imagination, but then someone in another book accidentally made the comment, and Havoc saw them and talked to them, and so they're like, "Okay, well, that's a flub." And then in this book, he literally just gets Xavier to go like, "Yeah, we were totally playing along with these figments of his imagination. We were pretending like we saw them, but we didn't really see them the whole time." It's just like, Ewing is such a genius, man.
Yeah. Average Joe asks, what's y'all's thought on Resurrection Protocol? I feel it could cheapen the value of the stakes, but and again, it's cool to see people get fucked up. I personally liked the Protocol, and there's still like weighted in the sense that the humans still don't know, and it's almost been uncovered multiple times. Orcus knows. They just haven't outed it yet. That being said, I think Judgment Day, we will see Resurrection Protocol being taken out. Now, permanently, I don't know, but I think it's going to be taken out for the event where there's going to be some weight. Like, we're going to go, oh, like, Cyclops is dead. Like, no, he's dead. But we'll see.
I think there's definitely an opportunity for it to be cheapen the value, but I think everyone's done a really, really good job so far to not do that.
And then what happened to Alex Summers? Haven't seen him at all.
So I mean, did you catch Hellions at all? Hellions is probably, if you didn't, Hellions is the best thing to figure out what's going on with him.
It's a good book.
He was like losing his mind for some reason. I don't know if that was from a previous X run or not, but then he was like on the team that they were like, they're bad they're bad, but we don't want to put them in the pit, but they've been bad boys, and so they get put on that team where he there's some Madeline shit that goes on there with him. Then of course the most recent thing that happens to him is he had his skull bitten off by the sentient Cerebro, which just happened in X-Force. So there's that.
Stefan says Royals is an awesome series, highly recommend it. I need to check it out. 99. So if you guys had to pick one X series to pick up and read, which one would it be? I'm liking the way X-Force is sounding.
If you're talking about going on right now, and you're talking about just quality and not caring about overall X line, I would say X-Men Red. If you're talking about best quality, but you also want to know what the hell's going on with Krakoa and the main book, then I would say Immortal.
You'd say X-Men Red for the first one? I think if you're looking for a silly goose time.
Well, that's not what I said.
I know, but I feel like, correct me if
If
I'm
you're
wrong.
looking for Silly Goose Time, I would go Knights of X.
Yeah, but the fact that he said
Oh,
X-Force is sounding, well, yeah. What I'm saying is if you think X-Force is sounding good, I say this very hesitantly because X-Force started high and like you're like, whoa, this is good, and then it got really weird, but in a bad way. And I don't want to say weird. It just got out of control. Like Wolverine surfing with an adamantium board on the shores of Krakoa and not realizing who he was surfing with were actually spies and not mutants. Like, come on, dude. Like, the guy's got a nose. But it's gotten back to where it is cool and brutal and just like, ooh, it's good. Like, it just feels like you're watching a movie or you're reading a movie or watching a movie, however you want to say that. So yeah, I don't know.
And are we also talking from the very beginning of this run, or are we talking about when Destiny event? So
yeah. I personally like Gary Jerry's X-Men, but that's me, and I know a lot of people don't. Like, I know
that is bad advice. Do not listen to that.
It's a really big yes from me. So just pick your favorite person on the show, and we'll figure it out. Anyway. Stefan, X-Force is a silly goose time with violence. 100%.
It is. Sure.
Joe, cool, haven't read any of him since 2002 when he became leader of Avengers after X-Men versus Avengers. And congrats on the 666. Yep. Let's we want to get to that 750 though, so please share this out. We need it. We need it. We're trying to hit that 1,000. We want to do it before the end of the year. Let's get it. Next up, Eternals surprise ending. I mean, surprised that it's ending. Not it's a surprise
that the book is ending. Yes. Yeah. I am also surprised that this book is ending. I'm also sad that this book is ending.
Yeah, because it was really good. But I'm also like, I obviously like him on Immortal X-Men, but I wish he could just do both books at the same time. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I like how we deal with Thanos. I kind of see what you were saying the other day when we were talking about how you felt it was kind of rushed.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that, but I was expecting it when you said that. I was like, all right, I need to read it, and I was expecting it to be way more rushed than it was. But I do see how it was rushed. But overall, I think the best part of this book is Cersei telling Iron Man to quite literally fuck off. When he's like, you didn't think to tell us that your leader was Thanos? Like, this is our planet too. And she's like, bro.
She's like literally, it's not.
You're but a speck. Peh. You know, like it was, I don't know. It was good. And I am with you. I am sad that this book is ending.
Yeah, I need to solve Rubik on another ongoing. I don't want
to. Well, yeah, but then he won't be. He'll be on it for like 5 issues, and then he'll go away. And then he'll come on issue 13, and then he'll go away.
Okay.
You know I'm right. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Do you like, I'm not going to say buy, but do you like the Druid, or what's his name? Is it Druid?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like his ascension and sudden, like, oh, well, let's go find excess deviants, and oh, look, it's the X-Men. Like, do you buy that? Like, is that what she meant by rush? Because that felt rushed to me.
No, that's not necessarily what I meant by rush, but like, it makes sense to me because, like, look, we're about to have X-Men versus Avengers versus Eternals, and like, we need someone to be the bad guy, right? At least in some way. And this looks like this is how we're gonna make the Eternals be the bad guys, even though most of them aren't really bad guys. They will be fighting for the bad guy reason, essentially, and it will be because of Druid. And I think that makes perfect sense because he has been the plotting evil bastard the entire run. Now, I don't know if Druid has been like that in previous history, but like, at least for this run, no, I think it makes sense.
Okay. How did you think of how did you feel how they disposed of Thanos?
I think it'll be probably pretty limited I almost wonder if this was a way for them to say, hey, you can play with Thanos for a little bit if you want to, but you better figure out how to put him away again so that Donnie can have him when the time is right. And so I honestly think that's what this was.
Okay.
But I also think that we did a lot of really good establishment of what exactly the fuck is Thanos? Who is he? What is he? How does he exist? You know, that's been so obscure forever. So I think we did a really good job of making that matter, making his presence in this book mean more than just, oh, we're using Thanos again. So
okay. Well, I'm sad to see it go, but it was good, and I hope. I mean, if there's another Eternals book, I'm sure Kieran Gillen will not be writing it. It'll be somebody else, and that's a pretty high bar to try to like achieve to get to again. Because I think he did a great job, and this book was like it came out of nowhere. Yeah. We were both kind of like, yeah, let's pick it up, and then suddenly we were like, oh my god, this is a really good book. Like this is really good.
Well, I mean, and honestly, it worked. It worked for us because essentially we picked it up because of the movie, right? Like. We were like, we saw the creative team. I saw Assad Ribic and said, yes, 100%. But then we had the movie coming out and we're like, okay, well, let's see if it fits together at all or if they, if they work in any sort of way. And I think, this shows that they did.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember that. When I read that, I was like, oh, look, they finally made the connection between the movie and the comic. Last says, not getting any build-up for Judgment Day besides only in Eternals. Yeah, no, I get that. I think the minute we're actually going to find out anything in the X-Books from this is going to be during the Hellfire Gala. I think the Eternals will be crashing the party. I can almost guarantee that. Also, with this being a massive event, I expect to see some reveals from X-Men side. Chimera's hopefully, or Chimera's. Yes. I've been asking for Chimera's.
You've been asking for Rasputin since the day you finished Hoxpox.
Yes, I'm like, where is she? She's the best. Please bring her back. Also, did they hint at Miracle Man? So here's hoping Eternals don't all die. Did they? I didn't know that they hinted at Miracle Man. Did they? I wouldn't know if they did.
I think maybe it just means like previously.
Oh, okay.
We know that that's coming back.
Oh, gotcha. Right. Well, I like the book. Sad to see it end. I know we're not going to get it like in this iteration, so peace be with you. I'll see you next time. All right, Fantastic Four: Reckoning War, issue 43. I liked it. I feel like Dan is really in his element right now. I feel like the way he's kind of interconnecting all of the stories into these issues, it's just finally starting to like really get hold. I'm really digging the Watcher stuff, like just how much we've really missed, right? Like, and how much that issue of the Trial of the Watcher really is important to this thing, and it was a good issue, and I'm digging that. I think that's the best part of this is the whole like lore of the Watchers and how I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm digging it. I'm really digging it. I'm looking forward to it. I think this Fantastic Four run has really picked up.
It has. Like, we always say they lulled around the tie-ins, but like it is, I think, firing on all cylinders right now. Doing everything we possibly can to get everyone in the cosmic, universe involved in some way, even if it's just for a little bit. Like I think they were introduced last issue, but we've still got Guardians of the Galaxy. We've still got the Starjammers here fighting. We've got Hulkling and I can't remember his husband's name. Wiccan, thank you, fighting as well. So I don't know, just I love having all this together, and then the Watcher, and then this seeing endowed Reed Richards and his calculating ways. Of course, that's always going to be a big focal point. But Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm even glad they brought Sky back in and some of her people.
And it's almost like they're kind of hinting that Sky might actually get back in, like, she may actually get back involved with the Fantastic Four. I hope she does.
I hope she does too.
Also, Joe says this also confirmed that the Watcher was right to get involved. Yeah, that was dope. I love.
Oh yeah, Stefan too. That Mysterium is anti-magic. Yeah.
Yep, that's a big. Well, and that's okay. So, Boma asks, also help me understand what was the big deal with mutants taking Mars and Mysterium. So, Mysterium. So yeah, it is anti-magic, but also how they obtained Mysterium, and I'm sure you know this. They went not interdimensional. They went into different realities. So in Ewing's sword, they went not only multi-dimensional but also multi-reality to get that material, because of how important it was, whether it is in building materials or anti-magic. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that they're going to pay for it. And I don't know who is going to pay for it, if it's going to be Abigail or if it's going to be the mutants in general. But that's going to be another big thing that's going to be coming down the pipeline. Like, they're going to get in trouble for that shit because there was only a finite amount within that reality, and they've figured out a way to actually multiply it to produce it. So there's going to be some massive weight in that. And then obviously Mars being taken over because of Arakko and just them being such a hostile version of mutants that they needed to get them their own planet so they wouldn't like start a war on Earth. That was the big deal there. I'm only reading Fantastic Four because of art, and I like Sky's character's evolution. I think she's a great character, and I haven't even read like the beginning arc of her.
Oh yeah, you haven't. You need to. I need to let you borrow those issues.
Yep. Just let Watu finish the movie. Told you moment was dope.
Right.
Yep. What'd you think of Doom? What'd you think of Doom in this issue?
I enjoyed it. I always like when Doom's around.
Obviously you think he's not quite 100% like he's up to no good at some point. Like, yes, he's trying to save the Earth, but there's going to be an underlying like, I have the armor now.
Sure.
No?
Yeah. I mean, I think he's still ultimately trying to help end the Badoon threat and the Reckoning in general, but like, yeah, I mean, ultimately he's hoping to have gains of his own, right? Like, whether it's an alliance with this guy or whether it's keeping the full suit for his own or whatever. Yeah, I mean, Doom always has ulterior motives.
Yeah, even with the Mysterium, he has a chunk or two. 7 points out. Moment also says, maybe it's me, but the Phoenix not being a part of the X-Men is really odd. You want to know what's really odd about the Phoenix? That he's fucking Thor's. That she's fucking Thor's mom. Like, what is that? I don't. It's a story. I know we're not even covering that right now, but it's a storyline that doesn't make any fucking sense, and it's been drawn out for 2 years.
Everything will be okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Moving on. Okay. Thor. Speaking of Thor, Thor issue number 25, Banner of War, Part 2. I will be honest with you. I was just in a weird mood, and so I read the actual like Banner of War part, but I didn't read the other two stories in the back. And I'm sure I missed something, and it was great, but I was much more intrigued with Danny's movement of this plot than reading two backup stories that I didn't really care for. I just didn't want to read them.
Yeah, I'm not going to blame you. They weren't good, so I'm not even
cool.
There's no reason to talk about them.
Dope. Sweet. I did something right for once. Anyway, I'm really digging this idea that we're dealing with Mjolnir/Odin being slammed into the consciousness of Hulk. I thought that was so cool. And then we finally figure out what the hell happened in El Paso. And it's actually much more crazier than either of us expected, because you're just thinking, okay, Hulk hulked out and killed a bunch of people in El Paso. Not quite. He's rubbing off of people.
Here's the reason why that's actually not good.
Okay.
Where did you find out about El Paso? What book did you find out about that in?
I know where you're going. Number 1.
You found out about that in Thor, and that's a Hulk storyline.
Right.
The readers of Hulk should not have to be reading Thor.
I agree.
I understand these are crossovers and all that stuff, and I am totally in support of crossovers where you go one issue to the next. I'm a sucker for that shit. I love it. But you should a big plot. It's literally the biggest mystery of all of Donny Cates' current Hulk run. You should not put that in a Thor book. That was wrong. That's dumb, and I don't like it.
I agree. I totally agree with you. I 100%. It's you have to go buy this book to find out the whole story. I get it. That sucks. If we get past that, which I understand why that's frustrating. It was pretty cool.
Rich said, "Well, you asked about El Paso, though."
That's true.
And then Stefan said, "I tried to ignore the Thor's mom thing. Thanks again." All right, man, you just gotta chill out with the.
I'm
this shit.
sorry, it's fucking dumb.
You're getting chat triggered too.
Yeah, just call me Trigger Jim. Anyway, I don't know. I don't like that part. But anyway, this book was really good. Artwork again was top notch. Coloring was top notch. And I like. Okay, now that we know what happened in El Paso, we know why Iron Man doesn't give a shit about anybody else, but he wants to play with his new toy, and he's literally launching a celestial Iron Man suit towards Thor and Hulk.
Banner was biting people in El Paso.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I don't know. I liked it. I think this was a really good time. I think Donnie's hitting a stride again, and it's got me more and more intrigued to see where we're gonna go with these two properties, right? With Thor and Hulk, to be surprisingly enough, because I want to know how we're gonna get to Thor's final moments, which is Thanos with Mjolnir infused with Infinity Stones. Like that just sounds like a Donny Cates move.
Yeah.
So
I will say, I said this last week, but I'm just gonna double emphasize it too. Martin Cuculo is doing great art, but is Matt Wilson the best colorist in all of Marvel Comics right now? Because I see this panel and again, Cuculo, great lines, amazing. But I thought this was what's our main art, Nick Klein. I was like, wait, I thought this was a different artist. It looks exactly like that, and I'm like, it's got to be the colors, man. Like that's got to be the colors that's making him look so. And it's just, it's so good. I don't know. Yeah. I think Matt Wilson's one of the absolute best colorists out there, and that's such a underappreciated job in comics right now.
Average Joe brings up a good point. Why pick up half of the crossover doesn't seem like a good idea. Yeah, like
I agree. I agree 100%. I totally get that, but like I just make it happen in the Hulk book just in case. Just make it happen in the Hulk book just in case. Mm-hmm. If for no other reason, don't give people a reason to complain about that. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Someone says great issue. More invested in this crossover after this issue. Totally agree. I mean, I was already invested after Alpha, or Part 1, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, we were both very speculative of this event. We were kind of like, this just seems like the same old shit. But no, it's definitely moving it. And obviously Donnie's going to do something fresh and new. Like, why did we doubt? Anyway, that's not just a Hulk Buster armor, though. I think it's a Celestial Hulk Buster.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's gonna do some damage. But Hulk is also like he's got the the Hulk's Hulk in there, whatever, I forget what it was called. So you're gonna need something like that because that thing is brutal.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to wait and see. But I liked it, and I'm looking forward to the next issue, which is in Hulk. So here we go. All right, we're jumping into DC with Batman, Superman's World Finest. The Devil Made Me Do It. I've heard some criticism of this issue that it's too fast paced and there's too much going on, and it's hard to follow. And I disagree.
Yeah, that's good.
Disagree wholeheartedly. I think it's super fun. Maybe it's because we're new DC readers, and at some point we have to drop that mantle. But
I'm not a DC reader anymore.
What?
So I'm not a new DC reader anymore.
Okay, young DC readers. It helps that Moray is on the art. Like it just kills it, and the coloring is fantastic. But I think the pacing in this book is actually really good. Mora. Sorry.
I thought you were talking about Talmu Moray, the colorist. No. I was like, wait, what?
No, Mora. Sorry. This book is dope, dude. Like it almost feels like fan fiction, just like Tom Taylor's Dark Knights or Knights of Steel. I'm sorry, but it's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I just dig it.
This is again making me really want to jump back and find out who the hell the Doom Patrol is, because I don't have any clue. I literally know nothing about the Doom Patrol.
I think the artwork really helps it too, though. Like, I'll be absolutely honest. Like, I think, you know, we've seen some DC books that the art has been just absolute horrible, like just poo-poo. Mm-hmm. And I think I really do. This book has the same effect that a Detective Comics had when we first jumped on, where like the artwork and the writing were just so on par that you just couldn't do anything. You couldn't do anything wrong. And then like the minute Maura got off the book, it was like, what are you doing? It's so good. Yeah.
Patty said World's Finest is a book I absolutely didn't know I needed. And yes, I agree.
100%.
Classic Batman suit. Yes,
there it is.
Ronnie, this is my favorite Batman suit of all time. Also, the humor, like the really subtle humor, like what the fuck is this?
Yes,
like,
yes.
What is Superman doing carrying Batman? Like,
just like, this is how I stand when we fly. The other thing that this book did that I will also mention in our next book is it just made me want Alfred back.
Okay, so I was going to bring that up. So this definitely shows us that we are either in an alternate continuity or this takes place some time ago, which I was a little bummed about that, actually. I obviously, like, it's not taking place right this second because we've got Dark Crisis coming up, but I wasn't really happy to see Alfred there. Not because I dislike Alfred, but
right, but you're upset because it kind of establishes the timeline and or Elseworld. I get it. Let's get back to it. My favorite DC right now is Batman Killing Time. Oh, we need to check. I've heard good things about that. Batman Robin in this takes me back to when I was a kid, but Robin feels a little different in the best ways. Belmont says, World's Finest reminds me of Batman/Superman with Batman who laughs, finding out who was infected, then seeing Superman, Gordon, and Supergirl who laughs. Okay. I don't know. I think this is a really fun book. It's like a silly goose time, action packed, kind of brutal, and kind of fan fictiony, and I like it. In a good way, because sometimes you can say fan fiction and you're like, put that away now, you know, like
right.
But this is fun.
Average Joe also said that we missed out by not getting Savage Avengers this week. So
I've heard that.
I've heard that a lot. Honestly, what you said, but you hear the Marvel is losing the rights to Conan. That's honestly one of the things that made me sort of like a little hesitant. Was like, man, I wonder if this creative team is going to get to tell the story they wanted to. If they're not going to be able to get to use Conan after issue 5, I don't know. We've yet to be seen. The team hasn't acknowledged whether they get to use it or not. People have been asking a lot.
There's a 1 in 50. There's a 1 in 50 incentive that Ron still has that I kind of want to go pick up because it looks really good. Yeah.
I might have to just add that to the list then, because
go check it out. Yeah. But that's World's Finest. This was almost my pick of the week if it weren't for Nightwing. This.
Are we double picking of the week again?
That's the gas. Pick of the week.
Hey, listen.
Listen, guys. This book. This is comics. This is comics. Like everything worked. Everything worked. Okay. Like it just. I don't know. I mean. Almost don't want to talk about it because it was that good. No, I can't do that.
So I loved the intro. I loved the throwback to Robin, to Dick Grayson, really being someone who is willing to risk himself to put his neck out there, and then fucking Alfred parasailing, or what am I trying to say, like coming down from a helicopter with a gas mask on, just like,
and he's just like
deal. I was like, what the fuck?
Fucking no. You know what he did? He Mary Poppins it with a gas mask. That's exactly what he did.
It's literally what he did. Okay, so literally in just the first 3 issues, right? Like first 3 pages, you get Dick Grayson getting the shit beat out of him. You get Alfred being a badass to come save and help him out. And then you get Alfred totally demolishing Bruce.
Yep.
Just absolutely putting him over the rails by like, you are absolutely not going over there. You need to fucking chill, take your goddamn mask off right now, and lose your fucking attitude, or you're not going in there. I was just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
You get no cake.
My favorite part too, and this could be just coincidence, or it could be good synchronous writing, but I instantly felt just those first 3 pages like I was in the Robin and Batman book that we just finished by Jeff Lemire.
Yeah.
Like it felt very cohesive. Like it just almost like they were part of the same storyline or something.
Yeah. And then I'm going to just say what I said in the previous issue. This book makes me miss Alfred. Like if Alfred's written like this, it's just like, damn it, like what we had that we didn't even know we miss. You know what I'm saying? Like it was so badass, and the dude is a baller, you know, like he just shows up in style and he doesn't miss a beat. And I think it's just, I don't know, man, it was good. And then we're finally getting back into Heartless, which I've been wanting. I think that's a really cool villain. And then on top of that, artwork, coloring, the aesthetics, the script writing to show bang bang bang, like that one panel that's literally just filled with whoop whap bang boom boom, just being beat up. Love it.
Yeah. I love how
is
involved he's keeping John in Nightwing too. I understand that the crossover was a little discombobulating, but like overall I still really enjoy the connectiveness of the stories.
Right. Yeah, and you know, I know Taylor probably won't have anything to do with it, but this gives me some hope. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm interested to see where Nightwing goes in Dark Crisis. You know, like will he step up as a leader, or will he kind of let the younger generation jump in, or I don't know. It's unfortunate that Tom Taylor won't have anything to do with it, because I kind of want to see a Tom Taylor Dark Crisis. Like, I'm not saying that Dark Crisis is going to be bad. I'm not saying that. But I don't know. I would love to see a crisis event written by Tom Taylor. I know Deceased was a big thing, but I'd like to see something that's got that much weight written by him, because I think he just kills, man. He just kills. And then there's times when he doesn't. There's times where you're just kind of flat. So, I don't know. But this was a great issue.
Patty said, I feel like Alfred could be a character in the Kingsman movies. I almost feel like that's what that miniseries Pennyworth is about. It literally looks like he's supposed to be like James Bond or something.
Also, maybe Kingsman is like, I think they definitely like.
Oh, look at this, man. This
I
is
know.
So cool.
There's so much good art in this book. So many cool panels. I don't know. This was great. Last is most of the comic community hated Alfred's death along with Tom King's run. I wished we got Tinian more, because I know his vision to bringing back Alfred would be great. I love Alfred's panels in JKRWR.
Joker War.
Yeah, I still have.
I wish we got more Tinian too. Have you ever read Joker War?
No.
Bro, do you want it?
I think I have it. I just don't have the one that's got like all the like secret file issues. So I need to read it.
About that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think, you know what? I'm halfway through it. I'm almost to it. I think that's where I'm at. Average Joe says, I'm digging Nightwing. Cool to see Bruce Wayne being a protective dad. This romance between Babs and Dick been a comic blue balls. No shit. Yeah. No, I really hope they stay together, because I know like in 2 issues they're gonna like define the relationship, and if they don't make it, I'm gonna be pissed. I'll be mad, like straight up mad.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, after that we have Shadow Warzone issue number 1. I didn't read it. I didn't get to it in time.
Oh shit, yeah.
How was it?
It was good. I thought it did exactly what one of these books should do, and it's tell you what's going on with the periphery characters that you feel like should be involved here, or giving you a little bit of background to make you want to know what else is going on. So we get 3 stories here. The first story involves Black Canary, and she's basically gone rogue and is saying like, "Oh, this is my fault. I had the chance to take out Deathstroke before, and I didn't, and now it's my fault. I got to go take him out myself." And she gets ambushed by Angel Breaker. You know that assassin. This one that we've seen
Kinda
before. She gets ambushed by her. She says, "Hey, Talia wants you to come in and be on our side. We know you're looking for him too. Just come be with us. It'll be okay." And she's like, "No." And they fight for a little bit. And then, of course, Angel Breaker gets called back before they can finish their fight. And so Black Canary basically talking to Babs at the beginning, and then they fight. And then at the end, she's like, "Babs, get me a bat plane. I got to go to Nepal." And then it says, "To be continued in Shadow War Omega." So it seems like she's going to show up in the finale of this run. But yeah, it made me for sure realize that I'm going to read all of those Deathstroke issues once they get onto DCU. They've got the first 2 on there so far because she's involved in a few issues, and I want to know what's going on.
Okay.
Then we get this cool little Talia al Ghul background story. Where she basically learns her history a little bit of her family and why her family's literally has the name the Demon's Hand. She is mad at her dad for keeping her trapped up as a teenager, and she goes into the Lazarus Island where her grandma is, and her grandma's like, "Don't you go looking in them pits." And she's like, "No, of course not." And then she goes and looks in the pits and almost gets yanked in by a demon. And she's like, "Girl, we got that name for a reason." And she's like, "Oh shit, okay.
Don't you go and look at them bits."
That was the weaker story, but it was still all right. Then we get a Ghostmaker story, which I thought was a lot of fun. It's Ghostmaker and Clown Hunter. They are they're running away from a bunch of ninjas, and they're protecting this one guy. Seems like Black Cat or something like that. And Ghostmaker's like, "Hey, don't worry, I've got a safe house of the panic room here." And the 2 go in there, and a couple of ninjas follow him, and then Ghostmaker runs out the other side and slams the door closed on him. And he's like, "All right, Clown Hunter, now's your chance. Like, you got 6 ninjas in there, and let's see if you can fucking keep that guy alive. I'm gonna be out here watching." And it literally sits in a chair and starts watching. And yeah, so we see that Clown Hunter's gained his skills, and he almost kills all 6 of them. But right before he gets stabbed, Ghostmaker goes in there and saves him. Says, "Hey, you did a pretty good job. I'm proud of you. we got to keep up the training." And then I forgot we actually have a 4th story. The 4th story is a Harley Quinn story, where this is the biggest story of them all, and I don't understand the implications. So if anyone does, let me know. Basically, we see Harley running away from a bunch of ninjas, and it's being narrated by people that are talking about her while she's fighting these ninjas and talking about, yeah, she used to be really bad, but now she's good. She's this enigma of a character. Can we trust her? Like, she's psychotic, but she's also super smart. Like, how do we know what we're getting? And then at the end, it turns out that it looks like Luke Fox, and then this character called Lashina, who is, I guess, an old god or a new god or something, are building a team, and they're thinking about putting Harley on this team. And this was written by Stephanie Phillips, who is writing the current Harley Quinn ongoing. So apparently, I don't know, something's going on with Harley, maybe joining a team with Luke Fox and this other character. But
nice. Belmont says, "I'm betting the person who shot Ra's al Ghul was probably another clone of Damien or Deathstroke's clone." That's actually a really good idea. I still like mine that it's
Red Hood?
It's resurrected Alfred pretending to be Red Hood, pretending to be Deathstroke. Ghostmaker intrigues me, kind of an anti-hero, the next Batman and Robin. Ghostmaker is the shit. Tinian deserves all the props for creating that character, and he needs his own fucking comic. I'm saying it now. We need a Ghostmaker comic. Like, do it. Get it over with. Let's get it going. I want it. I need it. Come on.
I do think it'd be cool to get a Batman Inc. miniseries where we see a lot of these periphery characters that King and Tinian have created that are just sort of chilling, like Punchline and Ghostmaker and Clown Hunter and Miracle Molly, and you know, getting to see the, even if it's just like a 6-7 issue mini. I think
I think Miracle Molly needs her own book too. I'm just gonna say it now. Like,
okay. You just want all the books.
Well, duh. All right, tell me about House of Slaughter issue number 6 from Boom Studios.
Oh,
in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, this is. It was a good issue. It was a good issue, but it wasn't quite what I was expecting. We get a girl who's a girl's body washes up on an island where a bunch of like Boy Scouts are having a little camp, and her eyeballs have been eaten out, and they're all scared. And shortly after that, the boys' camp gets a rampant pink eye infection. And then one of the boys falls down and gets a black eye. And then another boy accidentally pokes his eyeball so bad that they have to remove the eyeball. And so now there's this freak out going around that this girl was cursed and is causing damage to eyeballs. And of course, you know how monsters work in this world are essentially exactly like Department of Truth, where the more people believe it, the more it becomes true.
Okay.
And so our main character is a Scarlet Mask, which basically means he's like the historian of the families, and the dialogue is very strange. You get dialogue between him, I'm assuming a teacher or a adult leader of some kind, and another student, where they basically berate each other's weaknesses about not being able to become hunters. And then one was like, I didn't want to be a hunter, and the other's like, you were too stupid to be a hunter. And like, it was honestly pretty confusing. I didn't really understand. I was like, what are we doing here? But our main character gets sent to the island to see how bad has this been spread, and can we possibly stop it from actually manifesting a monster, or is a monster already manifested there, and do we need to send in the hunters? So, and yes, the monster has manifested there, but we only see it in shadows. I'm intrigued. There's nothing that's going to get me off the book. It is crazy to me how well they're getting other artists to copy Deladera's work. Like, almost looks exactly the same. So yeah, his artwork. So, but yeah, it was good. I'm very interested. I think there's a ton of new lore that's going to be added from this book. The first one didn't quite take off the way I wanted it to, but it's still a good issue and still worth it if you're invested in any of the Something is Killing the Children books.
Gotcha. Steven says, I'm finally fully caught up with the Slaughterverse. Cannot wait to see the green bandana person in action. I want to see a dragon.
Yes, me too.
Back to Ghostmaker. Baumut says, Ghostmaker comics by Tinian. No one else is going to give them the right shine. I totally agree. Average Joe says, Batman Inc. sounds like a CW show.
Yeah,
I agree. And then DC does too many miniseries. Just launch Ghostmaker. I agree with that too. What Batman issue did Ghostmaker first cameo appearance and first full appearance?
It's around. You have his first full appearance in.
The design.
The design slab.
Okay.
I don't know what issue that is. I think it's around 99 or 100.
Yeah, like 102 maybe.
But I'm not sure. But I'm just gonna look because you asked. Ghostmaker, DC. First appearance is number 100.
Okay, there you go.
Wow, I'm so smart.
Y'all hear about people getting triggered? Bruce Wayne kissing another guy in Batman the Night? No, I did not hear that.
Not at all. But of course, people will get triggered by that.
Oh my gosh, it's just a keys. It's just a little keys. All right, let's jump over to Rain issue number 5. How'd it go? Okay, bye. All right, fuck this place. Okay, no, seriously. I mean, okay. In a nutshell, just real quick, did it land? Did it end the way you wanted it to, or did this just end up being a pile of needles?
Pile of needles. No landing. Someone that I can't remember who in chat. We've had someone that is enjoyed the book, and I need to know what their opinion is. But for me, this fell very flat. Basically, it turns out that Templeton, the little boy, turns out that his mom is the one that caused the rain because the science was stolen from his dad, and they took it to Georgia, the country, and were going to use it, and he didn't get credit for it, so he killed himself, and she was mad, so she unleashed it into the world. And like we find out in this issue that the needles got so big that by the time it got to somewhere in like India, like over 3 million people died, and then the US found out that it might have been involved in Georgia, so they nuked Georgia, and that's going on. And then the mom goes crazy and hatchets Michael, the main guy, and cracks his skull open right in front of her kid, and then her kid gets scared and runs out into the needles, and she's like, no, my kid. And it's raining while he's running out there, so she like covers him up and then dies because of course there's needles everywhere, and so now she's dead. And our main girl and the little boy decide that they're going to take the research to a university to see if they can find a cure. I don't understand what the purpose of this story was supposed to be, besides like emotional porn, like just to try to make you feel sad, just to be sad. I'm not saying there isn't a story here. I could have totally missed it, but this fell as flat as a pancake for me. I'm sad. I'm very sad that this was as poor as it was.
Are you disappointed that you just pushed through it and waited it out?
No, because if this had been, like a bigger book, maybe, but like I like showing support for Joe Hill and Zoe and stuff, so I'm okay with that. But it'll make me be more hesitant in the future on Joe Hill and David Booher books. That's for sure. I think Zoe's art was really fun though. So
okay. Average Joe says, I agree. Binge this at one time. They should have stopped the bleeding at issue 5.
I'm not sure. I don't get it.
Okay. Well, let's move on to our last book of the night. Fuck this place.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me if I should go pick this up.
You shouldn't.
Oh.
It's really good. This was almost my pick of the week.
Well, why not?
It's not your thing. It's horror. It's body violence.
Okay.
It's
I like horror.
Sure, then go pick it up.
Show me a panel.
Like a random panel or like a bad panel?
One that you would be like, James would lose his shit.
Oh, there's really not too much in that.
That's not too bad. I mean, I remember that one that you showed me where like the girl's body was ripped in half, and her one half was here, and then the
that was Red Room. That was way more intense.
That was bad. This just seems
then maybe you should pick it up then.
Like a silly goose horror time.
Yeah, maybe you should pick it up then.
Okay.
So basically, this is a story of what is their names? Gabby. I can't remember. Gabby and her girlfriend. Gabby inherits a huge cow farm out in the middle of nowhere, and from an aunt that she's never known, and is going out there to take care of it. They're gonna live there for a while to kind of get away from it all, then sell the cattle, and then sell the house, sell the land, and then just go back to their normal lives. And what proceeds to this book actually starts with a little bit of a prelude of a bunch of like gangsters meeting out in the middle of nowhere, and there's like a double cross. There's two guys meeting one, and the one guy gets out and they're like, hey man, like we thought you weren't gonna make it, and he's like, yeah, well, thought you weren't gonna make it, and pulls out his gun and shoots a dude in the brains. And then right as he's about to shoot the other dude, a weird whip like tongue thing comes down and chops that dude's head off in half. And that guy's like, oh, what the fuck? And then it just stops and then goes on like normal. I think we do get a pretty good job of like building up a little interpersonal relationship between Gabby and her girlfriend and making them feel like unique characters. And they get there and we get a lot of tropes, but like a lot of fun tropes, like like the cows are moving in the middle of the night and we don't know why, and there's a weird what looks like a panic room in the house, and stuff like that. Would they stop for gas at the beginning of the book, and the guy that's doing that's like, oh, are y'all looking for the Rutherford house? And she's like, yeah, that was my aunt's place. They're like, watch out for the UFOs. And he's like, the girls are like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about? And they eventually find this video that said, Gabby goes outside. She gets touched by a ghost. She runs and screams and gets scared. They come to the house, but for some reason they can't get in the house. Here, the ghosties.
Ooh.
And they eventually find a video from her aunt that says, "I'm so sorry. Whoever's seeing this to you, I'm so sorry. They're taking me to the hospital tomorrow, and I'm gonna die. Once you get on the land, you can't ever leave, and just know that you can't go outside. Oh, by the way, the house is possessed. His name's Bodhi. He'll talk to you. Don't worry. The ghost can't get in the house, so make sure you're in the house at night. And if you ever see this guy in horns, you better run for your life because you're dead." And then you see the horned guy.
Guy with the horns.
Which of course you see on the cover too. I'm kind of blazing through it because it's the reason why this book is good is because it has a very ephemeral, like, if you're a fan of horror, you just sort of like, you see all the tropes and you're like, oh, I see this. And I actually finished the book and was like, I feel like that was a little too much. And then I read the afterword in the back by Kyle Starks, the writer, and he was like, this is sort of my love letter to horror. I've never written horror and always wanted to. And I just thought that I've always wondered what it would be like to smash all my favorite horror elements together into one thing. So that's what this is. And here we go. And so I was like, okay, that makes sense. Honestly, what really got me to buy this originally was because technically the name of this book is I Hate This Place, because they originally solicited it as Fuck This Place, and then a lot of comics retailers were like, hey, we're not gonna do that. Like, we need it to be something else. And they were like, fine. So cover A says I Hate This Place, and then cover B says Fuck This Place, and then it actually comes with a sticker on there so that no customers that are insensitive to seeing the word fuck on there. And I was like, that's cool. I was like, man, that's really, and all the issues are going to be like that. A cover is going to say I hate this place. B cover is going to say fuck this place.
Pick up B all the time.
Yep.
cool.
Overall, I will definitely be picking up the second issue. I can't get enough horror in my life. The art was really quirky. At times it was a little clunky, honestly, but not too bad to where it was distracting.
Okay, I'll have to check it out. All right, well, that's it. We finished issue 89 of Two Fat Guys Pull List, and we appreciate every single one of you that is here live watching us and listening to us and chilling and hanging out with us. We appreciate you guys. I think I said that already. But we couldn't do the show without you. I mean, we could quite literally talk to nobody and just us two on the internet live with one person, or just like my wife watching. But no, you guys show up every week and watch us, and we appreciate that. So thank you again for subscribing. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, give us a like. It's very important. We want to keep pushing these videos to the masses and get it into the YouTube algorithm so everybody knows that Two Fat Guys Pull List is the best comic book show on YouTube. And I'm kidding. Everybody's got great shows. We bring we all bring something different to the table, and I feel like our format's just a little bit more, just unique and fun.
A little
fatter. That is it. Exactly.
Faster than the rest of them.
Just a little bit fatter. But thanks guys for watching, and make sure to be on the lookout for our new Comic Book Day video that'll drop this Wednesday. No, actually, we've changed it. We're going to be dropping it on Tuesdays at 4:30 Central Standard Time. So you get a little bit extra. Yeah, get a little bit extra time to figure out what you want to go pick up at your LCS, and you know what we're picking up. So just be on the lookout for that. Our new Comic Book Day videos will be dropping at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Tuesdays. So that's a little change. And then obviously we'll be back here again next Sunday to review those books here live. And if any comic book breaking news comes out, we will be sure to make a video about it and get it to you guys. Yeah. Until the next one, guys. Read more comics, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Oh, we're going to try to do shorts, too. We're going to do more shorts.
Oh, yes, we do that.
We want to do more shorts. We're not making shorts, like video shorts. But you never know. Two Fat Guys Pull List shorts, I'd buy them. I mean, they'd start at, right. They'd start at 38 and then go higher.
Yes.
Right? Because 38's the small.
Also, Average Joe said that I feel like the point was about how the government treats people, and it's a preachy book, and it wasn't very good, and I totally agree that's why that book wasn't that good.
Also, Rich, it was really nice meeting you the other day at the shop. And Joe says, had fun, guys. Looking forward to these videos. I work at nights, so I have all channels on in the background. Heck yeah, dude. Well, we are talking over our outro, but we will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, guys. Be kind to one another, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.